Hello friends, welcome back to a new video. Today I will be reading to you the book My Pet Slime, Book 1. So let's get right into this book. Chapter 1 Show and Tell. School was just okay today. After lunch, our teacher, Miss Serrato, called on table A to do show and tell. There's a girl in my class named Claire who says show and tell is a little kid thing to do. We had it in kindergarten, but it stopped when we got to first grade and we didn't get to do it in second grade either, which just proves, according to Claire, that third grade is way too old for it. Claire is really popular. Kids always agree with her. Out loud, I agree with her too. Life is easier when you agree with Claire. But here's the truth. I secretly think that Claire is wrong about show and tell. Sure, little kids do it, but little kids do lots of things that older kids do, like they eat ice cream, they dangle their legs in the pool, they do art projects. Speaking of art projects, I do a lot of them. I'm practicing so that when I grow up, I'll be good at Frida Kahlo and Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo. Their artwork is in museums all over the world. I want my artwork to be in museums one day too. Then Claire and everyone else in uh, will see my name in big letters on shiny gold plaque. Piper McLean. But that's not the subject right now. The subject is show and tell and how I really like to do it, even though I don't admit that out loud. Except today, I didn't like it so much. My best friend Benny was the last person to share. He passed around a picture of his hamster. He told us some hamster facts like hamsters are very friendly, they store food in their cheeks to eat later, they need a lot of exercise, so it's good to put a wheel in their habitats. Another thing about hamsters is that I'm allergic to them. I'm also allergic to dogs, cats, rabbits, junior pigs, and gerbils, chinchillas. The list goes on and on. If it's cute or cuddly, then my eyes get teary and I can't stop sneezing. I am not allergic to lizards or frogs. In our class pet, Mr. Swimmers, who's an anglefish, but I want a pet that can sleep in my bed with me at night, not the kind that has to sleep in a tank. Benny was really happy about his hamster. I know I should be happy for him, but it's hard to be happy for someone when they have something that you want but you can't have, even if someone is your friend. Does does the hamster have a name? Mr. To asked. Yep, said Benny. It's Ty, short for Tyrannosaurus Rex. I wanted him to have a big name because he's such a little guy. That's very thoughtful, Miss Serrato said. Why don't you call him Rex? Clary called out. Because I call him Ty, Benny said. I think it should be Rex, Clary said. Me too, said Eleanor. Me three, said Beatrice. Beatrice said. See how everyone agrees with Claire? Well, Benny said, I could tell even Benny wanted to agree with her, but he didn't want to change his pet's name. Does anyone else have any questions? Miss Serrato asked. Theo raised his hand. Yes, Theo, said Miss Serrato. I have a cat named Charlie, Theo said. I have a bunny named Chinnabunny, Diego said. I have three mice named Eeny, Meeny, and Mo, Izzy said. OMG, I have the best idea, and Claire said. OMG means oh my goodness, in case you don't know. This whole week should be Pet Show and Tell Week, Claire said. Tomorrow I'll bring a picture of my dog, Buddy, and tell you about all the tricks he knows. Everyone else at table B brings pictures of your pets too. These are comments, not questions, said Mr. Turtle said. I have a question, I said. Miss Yes, Piper? What if you're at table B but you don't have a pet? Everyone has a pet, Beatrice said. Because we all have Mr. Swimmers. Anyone is welcome to bring whatever they want. Okay, Piper? Said Miss Rattle. Okay, I said. All right, Miss Rattle said. Thank you, Benny. You may sit down now. And thank you, Table A. Table B, you're on for tomorrow. Chapter 2 Slime Time. After school, Dad picked me up. Some afternoons, Dad and I do things together like going to the park or making homemade ice cream, but today Dad said he hadn't finished his words yet, so I needed to play quietly by myself. Dad writes books. Every day he makes himself write a certain number of words before he's finished with work for the day. We have an extra bedroom in our house that Dad uses as an office. My mom is a lawyer. She doesn't have an office in her house. She has an office in a building along with a lot of other people. I did my homework while Dad wrote his words. When I was done, I knocked on his office door. Yes, he called. I pushed the door open. I'm all done with my homework, I said. I finished. I wish I was done with all my work, Dad said. How many words do you have left? I asked. Why? Because if you don't have many, you will get to stop soon, and we can play something together. Sometimes even a few words can take long time to write when I'm working on a difficult section, Dad said. You'll have to play on your own today, okay? Okay, I said. I was feeling sad again, not because Dad still had work, but because of my allergies. If I wasn't allergic, I could have a pet. I'd never have to play alone. But allergies equal to no pets. I I decided to do an art project because art always cheers me up. Different artists use different materials for their work, like Claude Mont used oil paint, August Rodin used clay, Annie Leibovitz is a photographer, so she uses a camera. As for me, I like to work with slime. Yep, you read that right. Slime. Slime is the very best material of all. You can make many different things with it. Stretch it, braid it, loop it, sculpt it. Unfortunately, I didn't have any fresh slime to work with, but I did have all the ingredients to make a new batch. Technically, I'm not supposed to make slime without mom or dad there to supervise. I thought about knocking on dad's office door again, but I knew he still had work to do, so he probably wouldn't help. Besides, I didn't need his help. I've made slime with mom and dad so many times, I know exactly what to do. You only need three ingredients: glue, baking soda, mom's contact lens solution. Oh, and one more ingredient, food coloring. You don't need it to make the slime, but slime is very plain looking without it. It is like the color of a drawing paper or a white t-shirt. I gathered everything up along with a measuring cup and a bowl and headed into my room. My stuffed animals were lined up on my bed. Claire probably thinks stuffed animals are babyish too. But she's wrong again. They're cute and they're cuddly. You can have so many different species without being allergic to any of them. What time is it? I asked my stuffed animals. They didn't answer, but I answered for them. It's slime time. First, I squirted out the glue, then added the baking soda and the contact lens stuff. I'd forgotten a spoon, but that was okay. I mushed everything together with my hands, and presto, fresh slime. I spent a few more minutes mushing around. I love the feeling of slime. It's so soft and squishy. It's too bad there isn't a pet that has slime for fur. That would definitely be the perfect pet for me. What would my perfect slime pet look like? Well, first of all, it would be purple because purple is my favorite color. I pulled off a big hunk of slime and squeezed a drop of red food coloring and then a drop of blue and mushed it all together, and voila, I had a blob of purple slime. I shaped it into a kitten-sized animal, but my pet slime was too round to be a kitten. I gave it big eyes and a little mouth and two arms that were on the side but still long enough for hugs. Oh, it was so cute. Cute and perfect. Well, not quite perfect. Perfect pets are alive. They roll over, play fetch, and lick your face with kisses. Slime pets can't do any of that. I wish you were real, I said, patting my pet's slimy head. If you were real, you'd be friendly as Benny's hamster and do tricks like Claire's dog. But you're just slime. Hey, Piper, Dad called. I'm all finished. I heard his footsteps coming up the hallway toward my room. The problem was my room looked kind of messy. Okay, fine, it looked very messy. I couldn't let Dad come inside. I ran to the door and opened it just as he got there. Hey, what's going on? He asked. Nothing. I said absolutely positively nothing. He said. He tried to peek inside. No, don't. I said I'm trying to clean it up. Oh, really? Yeah, I said. I'm in the mood to clean. I'm actually going to get the vacuum cleaner. Do you want my help? Dad asked. Nope, I want to do it all by myself. All right then, he said. You do that and I'll get started on dinner. Chapter 3. Surprise, surprise. Here's something that shouldn't be true, but it is. It's always easier to make a mess than you than to clean it up. You'd think it'd be about the same, but it's not. Before I was before I was even half finished cleaning, I heard Dad calling me again. Piper, come here. Mom's home and she has a surprise guest with her. I love surprise guests, and I really, really wanted it to be a certain surprise guest. See you later, I told my slime pet, and I ran out of my room. I didn't want to get my hopes up because the surprise guest could have been anyone, like one of Mom's work colleagues. They're mostly nice but also mostly boring. The surprise guest I wanted it to be the opposite of boring, and my hopes were already up about it being her. That's the thing about your hopes. They go up all on their own. You can't stop them. And luckily, it was just who I wanted. Grandma Sadie. I cried. Pipsqueak. Grandma Sadie lives an hour away from us, which isn't really that far, but she travels a lot for her job. So um we don't get to see her at all. She doesn't have a regular job, by the way. She works for Blast Explorers. I'm sure you've heard about it because it's very famous. But just in case you haven't, the job of an astroblast explorer is to explore things, obviously. In the old days, there were people who explored different parts of the earth. The blast explorers explored things in space. I gave Grandma Sadie a big hug. I thought you weren't coming back for 6 more months. I had an unexpected trip home for a couple of days, Grandma Sadie said. Is this your wow for the day? Dad asked me. Every day, Dad asked me about my wow and my pow. Wow means the best thing that happened to you all day, and pow means the worst thing. Oh, yes, I said. Grandma Sadie is such a big wow. I don't even remember my pow. Do you want to see the surprise I bought you? Grandma Sadie asked. Yes, please, I asked. Oh, Mother, Mom said. You don't need to bring Piper a present every time you visit. Is your presence is present enough? Right, Pipe? Yes, of course, I said. And I meant it, but as long as Grandma Sadie had already bought a present, I should get to see it, right? Grandma Sadie's presents were always unusual. She didn't knit me sweaters or sneak me candy like other kids' grandmas, not even close. Instead, one time she gave me a package of special space meals, spaghetti and meatballs and ice cream sandwiches. They came in plastic bags with all air sucked out of them. Another time she bought me a weird black rock with swirls in it. It was made out of lava from Mars. Piper, go fetch my bag, Grandma Sadie said. It's by the front door. Coming right up, I said. I ran to the front door. Grandma Sadie's bag was big and shiny like a pillow covered in aluminum foil. It was heavy too. I half carried it, half dragged it back to her. Thank you, Pipsqueak, Grandma Sadie said. She snapped it open and mumbled as she dug around inside. Let's see. I was so excited. I felt my heart starting to beat harder. Would I get a comet rock or a drop of diamond rain from Jupiter, or maybe a piece of Saturn's ring? Whatever it was definitely coming with me to show and tell tomorrow. Here, Grandma Sadie said. She held the present out to me. Grandma said, Chapter 4 Space Dust. Grandma Sadie handed me a small plastic bottle. The see-through kind was the medicine comes in. But there wasn't medicine in this bottle. Instead, it looked like there wasn't anything at all. Do you like it? Grandma Sadie asked. I can't tell what it is. It's space dust collected from around the cosmos. She said, What's the cosmos? The universe. Oh, I said as I started to unscrew the top. Don't do that, dear. You don't want to make a mess. I How could I make a mess with something that was particle particularly invisible? Don't worry, Dad said. Piper's been practicing with the vacuum cleaner. Mom raised an eyebrow. I think it's better to keep it in the bottle for the time being, Grandma Sadie said. All right, Pipsqueak. All right, I said. I rocked the bottle from side to side and squinted to see the dust. We have show and tell tomorrow. I'd bring this in, but you can't tell there's anything in there. If I say it's space dust, Claire will think I made it up. Do you have something else I could bring? That's all I brought back, Grandma Sadie said. I'm sorry. It's okay, I said. Piper, I think you're forgetting a couple more words, Mom said. All right, thank you. You're welcome, Pipsqueak, Grandma Sadie said. I don't know about you guys, Dad said, but I'm pretty hungry. Does does anyone else want dinner? I do, Grandma Sadie said. Traveling home from the space station always makes me famished. Great. Turkey burgers coming right up. He brought a platter of burgers to the table with all the fixings plus sweet potato fries on the side. Mom started asking Grandma Sadie about her work. Where'd you just where'd you just come back from? I'm afraid I can't say, Grandma Sadie said. What were you working on? Grandma Sadie shook her head. Can't say that either. Conversations with Grandma Sadie always go like this. People at Blast Explorers work on a lot of super secret things. Do you want to stay over tonight, Mother? Mom asked. Piper could sleep in Tom's office, and you could take her bed. Uh-oh, uh-oh. I wouldn't mind giving up my bed for Grandma Sadie, but my room wasn't exactly clean enough for her to sleep in there. Thanks, dear Grandma Sadie said to Mom, but I need to get home tonight to pack. The Astroblast Explorers are going on a trip tomorrow. Phew. Where are you headed this time? Dad asked. Grandma Sadie smiled. I knew what she was going to say. I'm afraid I can't say. Can't blame a guy for asking, Dad said. When dinner was over, Mom drove Grandma Sadie back to the train station, and I helped Dad with the dishes. Hey, Piper, Dad said. Why don't you log onto my computer and write Grandma Sadie a little thank you email? I told her thank you, I reminded him. I know, but I'm not sure she knew you meant it. Um you meant it. I knew he was disappointed in me. In this house, it's the thought behind the gift that counts, not the gift itself. Grandma Sadie always thinks of you. You should be thankful for that. Okay, I said. I'll write to her. I headed to Dad's office and sat down at his desk. Dear Grandma Sadie, I know it's the thought that counts, so thank you for thinking of me. It's nice to have space dust. If you see anything cooler than dust the next time you're in space, can you bring me some? But if you can't, that's okay too. Love, Piper. Chapter 5. Did you hear something? After that, I went to my room to get ready for bed. My pet slime was still on my desk. Actually, he looked more like a blob than a pet. His mouth and arms had melted into blobness. I fixed them up. There you go, I said. I changed into my PJs. Mom knocked on the door to say good night, and I forgot to tell her to not come in. Oh my goodness, what happened in here? She asked. What do you mean? Oh, come on now, Piper, Mom said. I know what you're talking about. I made a little bit of slime, I admitted. By yourself? Yes. In your room? Yes. You know better than that, Mom said. You're not allowed to make slime without Dad or me supervising. And slime making to is supposed to take place in the kitchen. I knew about the first rule, I said. I didn't know about the second one. The second rule is is one you should have realized without needing to hear it, Mom said. The slime is there's slime sticking to everything in here. even the walls. How'd you manage to get it on the walls, Piper? I don't know, I said, but don't worry. Slime peels off. Watched. I tugged a string of slime that was stuck to the wallpaper. It came right off, except for a little bit. I scratched the leftover slime with my nail. You couldn't tell it ever been there. Well, you mostly couldn't tell. I'm sorry, I said. What were you thinking, Piper? I shrugged. I don't know, I said. I felt bad when I got home from school because Benny got a pet hamster and I can't have one. I can't I can't have a dog like Claire and Beat Rice or a cat like Theo or a rabbit like Diego or mice like Izzy either. Mice, Mom said. You want a pet mouse now? I want a pet something, I said, but I'm allergic to everything except for slime, so I decided to make my own pet slime. That's him on my desk. He was cute when I first made him, the size of a kitten but rounder with big eyes and a little mouth, plus arms for cuddling. You can't tell now. That's the problem with a slime pet. It doesn't keep its shape. Well, the second problem, the first problem that it's not alive. I see, Mom said. Am I going to be punished? I asked. Yes, I'm afraid so, Mom said. When you get home from school tomorrow, the first thing you have to do is clean your room. And even after you are finished cleaning, there won't be any more slime making in this house for the rest of the day. I felt in week. A week? But Mom, that is way too much time. Well, see what what kind of cleaning job you do and discuss it again tomorrow. Come on, get into bed. I'll tuck you in. I climbed in I climbed into bed. Mom stepped toward me, but she stopped to pick something up from the floor. What's this? She asked, holding out the bottle from Grandma Sadie. It must have rolled out of my pocket when I changed into my PJs, I said. I'm putting it right on your bookshelf, okay? Okay, sweet dreams, Piper, Mom said. She leaned down to kiss me good night and headed for the door. Mom? Yes, I'm sorry I broke the rules, and I'm not just saying that to get me out of punishment. I really am sorry. I know you are. I'll help you clean up tomorrow. Go to sleep now, okay? Okay, I said. She switched off the light. I snuggled under the covers, trying to get cozy. If I had a pet in the bed with me, it'd be easier. But but I found a good warm spot and closed my eyes. That's when I heard the sound. Okay, guys, this is the end of the book. I please